in order to increase the clearance speed, you have to use the ground well. In that perspective, a lot of problems lie in the backswing. For example, slow backswing. Then you have to use the backswing as a counter movement. There are many benefits of the festival.
クォン教授はクォン 3D っていう独自の開発されたソフトをお使いになってアスリートゴルファー、プロゴルファーのスイングを解析、分析してらっしゃるんですけれども、あのスイング解析っていうのは主にどういうところをご覧になっているのか、従来のスイング解析とはどういう点が違うのかっていうのを少し教授の口から教えていただきたいなと思うんですが。
Yeah, the quad 3D programs is what I have developed over 30 years. So I started it when I was the doctorate program student. And it was initially developed for a general purpose motion analysis program, but now I'm more using it for swing analysis. But regardless of the system you use or the software you use, basically we can calculate something similar. However, what makes a big difference is how you interpret the data. And as a biomechanist, my main role is research. By analyzing the data, we see the correlations and then differences and in different ways. And then so with that, I can understand which factors are related to, for example, the clearance speed. But just saying this is correlated to clearance speed, this is correlated to clearance speed, this does not have much meaning. So imagine we're developing an image here. So we have a 1,000 piece puzzle there. Then obviously the central piece will be the clearance speed. And we can find these puzzle pieces which is correlated to the clearance speed. But in order to fit everything perfectly here, then even these pieces have to fit to each other. So initially what we tried to do was just look at these different factors correlated to clearance speed. But eventually, we also look at the relationships among these here. So with that, we could develop this big picture image of a good golf swing. And then when you apply that in the swing analysis, then you will be able to see the areas, where typical systems lack. So the quad 3D program is a useful tool, but what's really important is the way we interpret the data.
統計的にそのいろんな要素の中で最もクラブスピードに大きく影響を与えていることの多い項目っていうのはどういうところにありそうかっていうのを少し教授の経験値から教えていただきたいなと思います。
So again, the bottom line is in order to increase the clearance speed, we have to use the ground well. And I also emphasize the importance of putting the first button correctly. And in that perspective, a lot of problems lie in the backswing. For example, slow backswing. This may be particularly true in Japan because we had the two professional players yesterday. Their swing time was about 1.4 seconds. So from the beginning of the backswing to impact, but that's extremely slow. I see a slow backswing in the US, but not that much. Now, when you have a slow backswing, that means you don't want to move fast. Then you don't need the large force and the large torque. That means you are not pushing the ground hard enough. And so if in the backswing, if your right leg is weak and not pushing the ground, then it also affects the downswing. So earlier I mentioned the stepping leg rhythm. So when you have an active push with the right leg in the backswing, then it's also easy to push the ground well with the lead leg. But when you have a slow backswing with a weak right leg, then suddenly when you start the downswing, you have to introduce abrupt motion. So then with that, you shouldn't make unnecessary movements. And also when you have an abrupt change in motion, it increases injury risk in the long run. So the motion should be well connected. So by speeding up the backswing, you automatically use the ground a lot better. Then you have a good initial condition for the downswing. Then you can have active acceleration in the downswing. But if you have a weak backswing, then at the beginning of the downswing, you have to do something before you try to accelerate. But yeah, so it's as simple as best backswing, but it has a lot of positive influences to the rest of the swing. But it may be counterintuitive, because when your backswing is fast, then you're afraid of losing the control here. So usually you go slow, go to this position, and then try to sit hard. So instructors teach that, and then amateurs naturally attracted to that motion, right? But in the perspective of biomechanists, no, the motion, golf swing is a very dynamic motion. Then you have to use the backswing as a counter movement. So with that, you can have a good initial condition for the downswing. And also your muscles will be elongated and shortened. So we have the stretchy shortening cycle. So there are many benefits of a faster backswing.
教授はそのゆっくり上げて急加速すると、そこから何かをしなければならない、しないと上手に打てないっていうふうにおっしゃってた中で、逆にアマチュアはその早く上げてしまって何もできないことに多分恐怖感を感じたりとかするっていう、そこのもう根本的な考え方の逆転がないと、多分アマチュアはそこに恐怖感を感じちゃうんだろうなって思います。で、教授のお考えになっている理想的なそのバックスイングの始動からインパクトまでの時間、先ほどちょっといくつかの遅すぎる例として 1.3 秒 1.4 秒っていうのを挙げていただいてたんですが、実際はどのぐらいの時間でインパクトを迎えるのがいいんでしょうか。
The average that we saw was 3 to 1. So backswing 3 and then downswing is 1. But that's the average. That means I want to see something like a 2.8, 2.7 to 1. So if the golfer feels it's a bit too fast, then maybe a good speed. Because we are so accustomed to a slow backswing. And even yesterday with the professional players, sometimes I will yell, too slow, too slow. The golfer feels it's really fast compared to normal, typical swing, right? But it's not fast enough. And also, in order to promote the faster backswing, that you have to use some sort of trigger motion at the beginning of the backswing. So when you have a stationary position at the beginning, then you just attend to a spin. So you're from here, when you start the swing from this stationary position, you can easily just spin like this. This is why the spine inclines away from the target. And then the buttock sticks out like this. But again, we have to turn about the spine axis, then it should be more this turn here. That from completely stationary position, going to this position is a bit difficult. But if you have a little bit of trigger motion here and then start, then it's a lot easier. In order to speed up the backswing, we need a little bit of a trigger motion. So again, if we know what kind of motion we need to generate, then we can come up with some ways of promoting that motion. But if you don't know the difference between spinning and the active turn about the spine axis, if you don't know the difference, then you will not try to change anything there. So in terms of time, for example, elite male golfers, if it's about between 850 milliseconds to 900 milliseconds, then it's fast enough. So downswing is usually around 250 milliseconds. So I can probably say 2.7 to 1, something like that. And the common rule of thumb is, I think, a 3 to 1. So that just reflects the average. But with that, the backswing is a bit slow in my perspective. So you have to speed up. And then, so one way to promote the active backswing is using the club trigger motion. So when you practice, throw the club toward the target first, and then here, try to make the backswing as best as possible. So practice this, then go up here, the pass, and top on. Rather than motion should be continuous all the way here. So by using the trigger and then active backswing here, and with that, the body will learn the rhythm here. So then even if you have a smaller trigger here, still will be able to go actively here. Eventually here, you can also do this. But or here, slight moving the knee slightly in, and then push the ground hard and go all the way here. So when even you have a reasonably fast initial action, one mistake commonly made is you have just the early kick action here and then slow motion. But rather this motion should be continuous all the way here, instead of a quick action and then slow motion here.
吉田プロにお聞きしたいんですけど、日本のゴルフのレッスンではゆっくり静かに指導しろって、 バックスイングの指導をそういうふうに言われることが多いです、
はい、
同時にラウンド中なんかに指摘されるのが今スイング早かったよって言われます、はい、日本のレッスンで指摘されるそのゆっくり上げろと早いぞ、今の早かったぞって言われるのっていうのは何を指しているのか、それと教授のおっしゃってる指導との違いってどの辺にありそうかをちょっと分析していただけないかな。
そうですね、多分レッスンの時はいわゆる手上げですよね、手だけでこうひょいって上げてしまうのを防ぐためにゆっくり上げなさいという表現をするんだと思うんですけれども、それは対症療法というか、その手だけで上げるのを抑えていくということだと思うんですね。でその後下半身を使って上げていくというところが大事なんじゃないかなと、その順番が大事なんじゃないかなと思いますね。
そういう意味では教授のおっしゃってた先にピュッと動いてそこからゆっくりになっちゃうタイプの人っていうのがいわゆる手上げで、
そうですね、
それを防ぐためにちょっと最初ゆっくりこっちを使ってあげなさいよっていう指導がなされるのが、そういうふうに解釈されることが多い。
そういうことか、
切り返し早かったよって言われるやつですね、これはどの辺なんでしょう。
これもやはり手で下ろしてくるということになると思うので、上半身先行になって下半身が使えないということになりますから、そこもやはり手を使わないようにするためにちょっとゆっくりするというタイミングのアドバイスかなと思いますね。でも本来は下半身を使ってかつ手を使わないということを両方アプローチしていくことが大事かなと思います。
そういうわけでは、さっき教授がおっしゃってたような、ゆっくり上げて急にここから手を使って速くなってしまう、っていうのが日本のレッスンで言われているような今の速かったぞって言われるのであって、教授が求めているような全体的なスピード感のあるダイナミックなバックスイングのことを指していってるわけではないわけですよね。
そうですね、